Now, I had some Australian friends that we met in Egypt. Very nice lads, 3 guys, they were in their 20s. And we met them in the Turkish Airlines office in Cairo. Fell into conversation with them. And, you know, you ask, what are you doing here? Only you do it politely, and they ask you, what are you doing here? So the net result was that they were on a year's holiday, which is a very popular concept after one gets out of school in Australia, and probably a good idea. And we were doing archaeological research, so we told them we were going out to Noah's Ark. Well, they had a good laugh about that, but they said we'd be glad to go help. And I told them we'd pick up their expenses, and that made them gladder. So they said, you know, we don't believe any of this. Anyway, after we had gone out and showed them the things that you're going to see tomorrow, and they went with us to Israel after that, and we showed them some other things over there. As time progressed, their, shall we say,
skepticism?
Their conviction that none of this was true began to be shaken. And one day while we were waiting on our permit to get back into the Ark of the Covenant excavation, now somebody had stolen an artifact, and everybody in the antiquities department got done something with. Most of them, when they wouldn't face the emotion, they just resigned or retired or that sort of thing. So we were looking at all new faces in there, where we had been used to working with people we knew, and I had to go in and talk to a 3-star general about getting back into my excavation. And he says, well, we'll think about that and let you know. 3 weeks went by. Well, we went swimming down to the Mediterranean Sea. It was cold, and of course I have a little extra padding, so I didn't get cold as fast as these Australian lads. But they got out of the water, and I was starting to come in, hit my foot on something, and ducked under the water and looked down to see what it was, and it was a rounded stone. Well, I thought that was an unusual looking stone, so I started digging in the sand and uncovered a big stone pot. Well, I hollered at these fellows, they came back in, and we were all trying to uncover this pot. Finally, they kind of pushed me out of the way and said, old man, if you'll move out of the way, we'll get this thing uncovered. So I moved back into deeper water, and while they were digging and fighting with that sand, I found another pot. And I went over a few paces and found another. It turned out that there was just hundreds of those things out there in a stone pavement. Well, we pulled the top out of one of these, found human skeletal remains, found knives, beads, and other objects that were early Canaanite. Well, I photographed this. I had underwater cameras, got them developed, took them to the antiquities department. It blew their socks off. They went down, stretched ropes all around the beach area there, and they said they were going to put a, what do you call those deals? A wall, at least, a retainer wall out around this whole area, pump the water out, and excavate it and restore it. They were thrilled to death. And I got my permit. So right about then, these Australian lads said, okay, we believe you now. We believe all of it. But we know how you did it. You just fell over. And that's about what has happened on all of this stuff, to be perfectly honest. But that's the way God does things. He does it in a manner that no human being can take credit for it. Because no human being is of the frame of mind to, shall we say, we all tend to get to over-exaggerate our importance if we think we actually did something. Well, I don't suffer from the illusion that I've actually done something. So anyway, I forget something happened to me the other day, and somebody said, well, that's just to keep you humble. And I in fun, I said, well, look, that was the one thing I could be proud of, was my humility. But anyway, God knows how to keep us from getting crazy and losing our way. He knows exactly how to go about it. We don't, and he knows exactly how to